Pause. So the meeting is coming to order at 1. Or in attendance, this is Barbara Bigelow, BZ Riley, Elaine Paleo, Christine Marglin, Darwin Mitchner Rutledge, Ann Brigham, and I'm about to admit Christine Robinson. And as guests, we have Diane Jacoby and Alan Hansen. So welcome. Diane and Alan, it's entirely up to you. Would you mind just saying a few words about what brings you to our meeting today?
I just wanted to see what was going on.
Oh, lots. We can
I'm
tell you that.
just plain nosy. Let's put it that way.
I like an honest person. Yes.
I'm not going to stay long. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm kind of like Alan. I wanted to see what the Recreation Committee is up to and how you guys run the committee.
I always refer to this as the fun committee. So if you like fun, this is the committee to be on.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was looking for a
Christine.
fun committee.
We definitely are. So our first agenda item is, God, I seem to be knocking, hold on just a second. Here we go. Is Kristen Burgess, our chief of police, and I'm sorry, yeah, our police chief, and she is not here yet. So I'm going to go ahead with the other agenda items. And when she joins us, we will then loop back to her. So I'm going to start off with our knitting group, which is really more of a stitch-in group. We had our first meeting this last Sunday morning, and it was a great success. We had actually a good number of people, and Christine Robinson, you were pointing out that there are some other people who are interested in joining. So we are extending it from knitting to stitching because there were people who were darning, there were people crocheting as well as knitting, there were people who want to do embroidery. So it was a great time, and because we did not know how to disarm the alarm, we got to meet the state police. And so it was really quite exciting all together. And nobody was arrested, so that was good. And the state police officer was incredibly pleasant. Would that be a fair? Yes, incredibly pleasant. And at one point, as we were all kind of like nervous about it, he said, I've got bigger fish to fry. So I think it was a nice, easy one for him. Our plan is to meet every other week. Everybody was very enthusiastic about that possibility. We're going to be starting on February 16th and then going every other week from there. And the reason for putting it off is that there's library programming on the afternoon of the 9th. And we don't want to either do anything that could potentially conflict or that just loads one day with a lot of programming. So we're going to start on the 16th and then do it every other week, and there will be no conflicts with library programming. So that's item number 1. Number 2 is the improv workshop. So we and Christine, I wanted just to Christine Marglin is the person who is responsible for putting this together, getting the person who's going to be leading the workshop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We ended up changing that date as well because originally we had it on February 9th in the afternoon, and the library already had some programming on that afternoon. And so we didn't want to, well, there were 2 issues. One was finding an acceptable room. And then the other issue was that we might cannibalize each other's audience. So we thought it best to not have things programmed on the same day. And so that is on February 23rd. The announcement just went out. Thank you, Sam, for sending that out. And the reason for the delay is because we wanted to make sure we had a room, and we have now booked the town hall room. we plan to know how to do the alarm. Although, given that it's improv, maybe having a state police officer come could be just add to the fun. I don't know. But we'll try to avoid that if we possibly can. So, yes, and she and I were the partners in crime on that one. There's no question about it, right? But we're still free women, so that's a good thing. Okay. We will need to set up a snow date. I realized that February 23rd was our rain/snow date. So, Christine, I was gonna suggest 3 different Saturdays, March 2nd, 16th, or 23rd, whatever works best for him. And if he can't, obviously, that's understandable. Thank you. Next item of business, the CPC determination of eligibility proposals. Both the pickleball court proposal to do the feasibility study and the proposal to construct a path between the new library and the school are eligible to apply for CPC funding.
Neither of them are going to.
Neither of them, oh, they're not.
Well, actually, the pickleball is not eligible.
Oh, they aren't. Oh, I
No.
misread the meetings. Okay. I misread the minutes.
No, they're not eligible, and the path was just going to be too much work to try to get right of way access along people's properties and get that written into their deeds and everything, and it just was too much.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not willing to work on it, and
Yeah. Thank you for that update.
yeah. And the pickleball, because of it didn't have a specific site, the feasibility study was not eligible.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know they had talked about behind the fire station.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think that's it for things that not it for our meeting, but it for existing programming. So what I'm hoping we can do, yeah, Ann?
Sorry, Barbara, when you said Sam sent out an announcement, can you remind me what that means? Is it an email, Sam?
It's the townwide. Yeah, if you did not get it, it might mean that your email address for townwide emails is also incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
that
will-
one I don't have any control over. I would guess that's Gail Fleischiger. Anyone?
What did
know?
you guess?
Ann's email address is not the correct one on the town email list. So
Well, I
can
used
just-
to get them and I don't get them anymore at
That's
this email address.
odd.
I know. So Barbara was just saying who I might contact, Elaine. She thought it might be Gail.
I would contact the town clerk.
Okay.
Ah.
All right. Thank you both.
Great, thanks, Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
So and hopefully Kristen will be able to join us. We have several programming that I'm hoping we can talk about today that the bike repair in the spring, go fly a kite, updates on soccer, and then a whole list of things. So I'd like to start with the bicycle. I don't know what to call it. Certainly we talked about having a bicycle repair, have people there just out on the commons on some, we hope, nice day in the spring for people to bring their bicycles and get simple repair jobs, advice and go ahead, Elaine. I was hoping.
Could we possibly put that at the school, since there isn't pavement around the town common?
Yes,
And it'd be easier to do it at the school, especially if we have kids, so that they can ride their bikes around.
yes. Okay.
I like that idea too. I can't get my camera to work today, sorry. But I did talk to my friend Stu, is kind of interested in it. So I'll reach out to him before the next meeting, and he has a contact that he was going to reach out to. So I'll reach out to him and see if I can rope him into helping us out with that.
Now, I know you had mentioned, and I hope I'm not telling tales out of school, but you had mentioned that.
Can't hear you, Barbara.
What?
Can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear
Your
me?
sound went down.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Oh,
How about now?
Yep.
Okay, great. So Sam, you had mentioned that you were likely not going to be able to kind of take this on as the lead person. Is that correct?
It would be lovely if someone else did, I think.
Yes. Okay, well, I was operating on that assumption, but I wanted you to confirm it. Because it would be great to have, to have people from outside the committee who have an interest in this involved in it, but to have at least 2 people on the committee from our committee who could take part in the planning of it as well. So I'm not willing to take on the planning of it, but I'm very willing to be one of the helpers. So yeah, Christine?
Has anybody talked to the bike cell repair joint on University Avenue?
No one's talked to anyone yet.
I wonder if they would be willing to volunteer. I will talk to them.
Okay. And if they're not willing to volunteer, we can provide people with a stipend. So, yeah, let's kind of, yeah, that sounds like a good resource for us. May I make a suggestion, which is that we wait until we have a committee, because I don't know what knowledge people in the community have who might be, yeah. So let's see what that looks like. And I'm kind of hoping we can get more specific on details starting at our next meeting. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
great.
I'll do some research before then too.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. And Elaine, as I recall, you knew people who might be be able to help people with basic repairs. Can you hear me? Oops, something's going on here.
I can't hear Elaine.
Elaine, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, my phone, my landline was
Oh,
ringing, and
oh.
that's why I muted myself. Sorry.
Mhm. Oh, no, I was just saying, I'm pretty sure you mentioned that you knew people who would be able to help with basic kind of repairs, tire changes.
Oh yeah, there's a
Okay.
lot of people that are bicyclists here in this community that
Super.
could give. I'm donating their time for a day or for an afternoon or something.
How generous of you, Elaine.
Thank you.
Another idea I had that we could go with that would go alongside with it is we could start like some group rides, just like have, like I know my husband would do like a 10-mile route or something and just get a group of people together to do small routes and ride together.
Mhm.
I think I could find a couple people to do that too.
Great.
Diane, how about you? You're a bike repair person, aren't you?
Ooh, how glad you're here.
Thanks for remembering, Elaine. I'm actually a former retired bike repair person.
Former retired, meaning
Retired?
you're back on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I phrased that correctly, but yeah, events like this, the repair part is pretty challenging for the mechanics. So I would suggest that a stipend would be appreciated by the mechanics.
Yeah, we will definitely.
That's been my experience.
Mhm. Great.
How about teaching people something like, easy maintenance, like changing a tire and greasing your chain and things like that?
I think everybody needs to know how to change a tire. I think nobody needs to be taught how to grease a chain. Chains are oiled, they're not greased.
Sorry.
Okay. An
See, that's how much I know.
Yeah, I spent many hours cleaning up horrible chain messes from people who put the wrong thing on them.
I leave that to my husband. He takes care of my bike.
Well, this is nice because I'm already just kind of making a little list here of some of the types of activities that we might have. There could be just instruction, showing how to do it. There could be somebody who's doing the repairs, sort of more one-on-one work with someone. But And as other thoughts come to people, please send me a text or email rather. So we'll have a good list of types of activities you might want to do.
Should we aim to do it in later May or early June? Anyone have any
Um,
in that?
I think I'm just gonna pull out the dates. I have the dates of the library things. Yeah, we would be able to do it in either April or, I mean, May or June, or even April. There are lots of dates. What do you think would be best?
April can still be cold.
Yeah, okay. So May or June?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And those both, there'd be enough time in there that we can definitely have a rain date should we need it. Although I don't know, is bicycle repair, things like this, similar to doing a 5K? It could be thunder and lightning and you still go out and do the 5K. Or is this a more fair weather activity?
Fair weather.
Okay,
Fair.
so we'll definitely make sure that we have a rain date. All right, go fly a kite. Sam, how are you feeling about doing that again this year?
Wait, sorry. Before we
Oh,
move on, Diane was
sure.
gonna say something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Diane.
If you're having the bike event at the school, it's important to not conflict with the weekend of town meeting,
Oh, of course, of course.
which I think is the last Saturday in April.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, that'll make that easy if we're not doing it in April. Don't conflict with town meeting. Great. Okay, go fly a kite.
Yeah, I can take that on and maybe I'll talk to Marianne about collaborating again when she gets
Great.
back.
Not everybody here is familiar with the event. Can you say a little bit about what happened last year with this?
Yeah, we just had like a kite festival. We just met on the town common and people brought kites to fly, and then we had a couple, like 15 or 20 kites available too for kids to decorate and fly, and it was really simple and really fun. We did it at the end of April and it was still snowy, so that I would avoid this time. But it was, I think, just another one of those events that was like getting to people together at the same time to do something. And it was a good time.
Good, good. Yeah, that'll be a nice kind of annual thing to do if we can.
Yep.
So other programming, soccer. Sam, I think you talked a little bit about this at the end of the fall season. So presumably it's going to be continuing into the spring and then on into the future.
Yeah, I think again May when it warms up a bit.
Mhm.
And I'll talk to my friend Sean again too, and I'll just send out an email when we're ready to go. We have all the stuff already. So we'll just aim to do Sunday mornings again, and I'll get a form from the school to fill out so
Great.
that we can use the field.
So Sam, how successful was that in your opinion? Like how many kids showed up and
It was
They-
awesome. Yeah, like it started off with like like 30 or 40 kids the first day. It was like insane. And then it like every week it petered out, but there was still like a core group of I don't know, 15 kids that came.
Wow.
And then yeah, it was everyone who came really had a good time. It was really fun.
Great.
Yeah. I loved it. My kids loved it. And I'm excited to do it again.
Great. For Diane and Alan and Darwin, I can't remember when you joined the committee, the recreation committee doesn't run the soccer. We sponsor it. So we helped purchase balls and pennies and goals, but we don't actually run it. What we will do, and thank you, Sam. Sam has children who are in the elementary school, so it works out well because they enjoy it, she enjoys it, but this is a programming that we hope will not be dependent on an individual, but is something that will be able to keep going. If Sam, at the point where you decide you don't want to do it again, you know, we can identify other parents who are. So we have a couple of other things that are like that as well. That was kind of how the pickleball started originally. You know, we sponsored it, we gave them support, but then we don't run it. And it's really separate from the recreation committee. So the other, another event that's like that are the open studios. We provided $100 for marketing last year. I think that goes, BC, do you know when that's scheduled for this coming year?
Yes, I think it's the last weekend in June, which is what.
Okay, so that,
Same time.
okay, so that'll still be in this fiscal year. Okay, great.
I
And
mean, if it's
Hmm?
better that it went in the next fiscal year, probably change it. And it's not,
doesn't matter.
doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it matters, no. We have sufficient resources.
I mean,
for
I think
that.
it was pretty much a success, so that I think it'll build on. It's good to sort of do those things the same time of the year,
Yeah.
every year at that time, because then,
Mhm.
so some of the other art tours in the valley do that, like the asparagus tour, artist pottery tour is always the same time, you know, like,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it's good to build on that, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So,
Last year, we provided them $100 for marketing. As we get closer to the date, we'll see what they ask for. One of the things that they asked for, it turned out we couldn't provide, which was money to give to the various artists to purchase food for people who are coming to their studios, because they're a business. Each artist is selling their things, and so we were not able to give them money for that, but we were able to help them with marketing. So Nate has already reached out. I don't know what the specifics are in terms of what they would like to ask us for, but when that time comes, we can discuss it and vote on it. So the note that I made to myself is spring comes up really fast. I'm always surprised because how quickly it comes. But here are some of the things that we might want to consider as activities for the spring. The one is bird watching and scheduling it during the spring migration. The event in the fall, Elaine, when was that? Was that in the fall?
Oh, God. Yeah, I think it was
September.
sometime was
Okay.
it September?
Okay.
yeah, that was
But
with,
that was a great success, and would be wonderful to do that again. And just something that as a committee, we should kind of talk about, be thinking about, or what are some of the programs that we just think, okay, every year we're going to do this. You know, it's
Yep.
just,
Cliff would love to do it at Brightwater Bog.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christine?
It happened, I just looked it up, June 7th.
It happened on June 7th?
June
Oh.
7th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
oh,
Isn't that funny? It felt further away than that.
yeah,
Thank you
I
for looking it
remembered
up.
it as being spring, and sure enough, I
Sure
looked it
enough.
up. So, I don't know if you want to make it a different time to accord with the migration.
I would
don't
say
know.
let Cliff decide, and then as long as it's not conflicting with other programming, go with it. Does that sound reasonable?
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, Christine? And be sure to unmute yourself. You have to unmute, yeah. Mhm. There you go.
So, thank you. Is it Graham and Helen Ann?
Yes, they did the walk. So
This
it
is
wasn't,
different.
yeah.
This was
Okay.
In fact, that's
Gotcha.
another one on my list, because we talked about having, you know, a spring walk and a fall walk at Brightwater Bog. And I know people who came on the walk in the fall were looking forward to the spring because of all the pitcher plants. I think we found one while we were there, and it will be quite covered with pitcher plants. So, you know, that's definitely an event that people enjoyed a lot. And Brightwater Bog is just such a lovely, lovely place to go for that, and really accommodates a lot of different abilities as well.
I know it's so interesting. People are coming from outside of Shutesbury to go there and are just shocked at how gorgeous it is, you know. They're like, how come we didn't know about this?
Yeah,
Cause you didn't live here.
Exactly.
right. Exactly.
Something nice in Shutesbury to do, like, oh.
Yeah, well, it's all, most people come here for the restaurants.
Shopping. It's fall for
Shopping, that's right.
Fall.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so something that I will do for our next meeting and send out ahead of time is just propose some possible dates for both the bird watching. And although that would be helpful to get, Elaine, if you don't mind asking Cliff, when would be a good date for the migration and then for the walks. So,
I have something to add to our,
oh yeah,
if we're near the end, don't want to butt into your
no,
agenda.
go, butt away.
Okay, so I would like the rec committee to support a letter opposing, you know, the DCR in the Quabbin watershed is proposing to do this clear cutting of the forest. And it's an area from sort of 202. I don't know if you've walked down Cornwall Road to 202. They put in a giant metal bridge, and they're proposing to bring a big logging operation into Cooleyville Road, Cornwall Road, New Boston Road. And I think that it would be really appropriate for the rec committee to write, since so many people walk down here, it's sort of a dog walking park, and it's a constant stream of people coming down here, for them to realize that this is really a recreational area that people use a lot. And if they're going to clear cut the forest down here, it's going to really change the whole nature of the woods in the Quabbin. And it's, you know, not to mention the impact on the environment and the, you know, the air quality and carbon release and all that. But they've, you know, we've been talking to the powers that be at the DCR, and they're like, well, we're doing this for the health of the forest. So it's like, and the watershed, it'll really help the watershed. Like, well, how is taking down the oldest trees? These trees are 200-year-old pines. They're the biggest trees in the forest. Taking those down going to help the air quality and the quality of the watershed. You know, all the streams here go right into the Quabbin. So anyway, if I wrote something up and then brought it to our next meeting or sent it out to you all to see if you would agree that we could sign it as the rec committee of Shutesbury, just being opposed because this is a recreational area, having not this, you know, clear cutting not happen. So does anybody have any thoughts on that or any?
Christine?
I have a question, BZ. Does this affect people that live on town farm? Because they want to clear cut people's driveways up there as well. Is this
Well,
related to that?
here's the, yeah, it's definitely related, I think.
So then I want to be on board.
Okay. I think what's happened is it used to be logging in the New England woods happened with a guy with a skidder, you know, a log, like a chainsaw on a skidder. Now they went and bought these giant machines. If you've ever seen them doing it, they have these giant machines that bring in, you know, they bring into the forest and it really disturbs the undergrowth of the forest and they have the machines. Now they want to use them. Shocking, you know, guys and their toys. I mean, so they have these, you know, machines that do logging in a completely different way than the old method of harvesting, you know, you know, trees out of the forest, which they used to take the trees that weren't the healthiest. Now they want to take the healthiest trees, the ones that have survived hurricanes and have survived, you know, all kinds of weather events, because they said they're afraid they'll fall down. The big trees will fall down. And I think they're gonna do this, Christine, they're gonna try to do it in many places. It's just, because they
I'm
have,
with you, girl. I'm with you, girlfriend.
okay, I just, it's just sort of sad to me that this is what, the forests are gonna become. I mean, Shutesbury is what we have. I mean, the whole, it's happening everywhere for different reasons and so forth, but this area is really a recreational, site that people come down here to be able to walk in the woods.
And we're keeping it that way.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Anne?
BZ, I also thanks, totally on board. And if you could circulate it
Yeah,
before the meeting, that would just be super helpful.
yeah, sure, no problem. I'll,
Thank
I'll,
you.
I'll write, it can be a draft and I'll send it out and then you guys can help me edit it
Thank you, Beezy.
and then, give me advice on how to say it or, I'm not a writer, I'm just an artist.
I am a writer, but obviously I don't have all of the information that you have, so I'm more than happy to help
Okay.
draft this up, and I'm totally on board.
Great. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I also
Cool.
appreciate you writing something up. If you know of or have any links, I'm assuming there's been something in the newspaper. Has there been
Oh,
any
yeah.
kind of public comment to maybe provide us with some of those links so we can
Sure.
see? Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've had a lot of, we've had meeting, the select board's written something. Joe Comerford's office has been really involved and they're
Okay.
very against all this proposal of cutting.
Okay.
And the DCR says, oh, we aren't going to be making money from this. It's like, well, why are you taking down the trees and sell, they claim it's not a money-making operation, but anyway, yeah, we've gotten local, Aaron Saunders has been involved and they've been really helpful and really, responsive, but the DCR got all the letters from all these legislators and from local people and they said, well, we're still moving forward. We're still going to do this project. So they claimed, this is a classic, they claim we didn't get letters in when there was a period of time for public comment. We didn't even know it was happening till after the public comment time was over. They did not tell abutters. They did not tell anyone it was happening. And then they said, oh, well, you didn't get your letters in before the public comment time was over. It's like, well, we didn't know. No one told us it was happening. So there's a little bit of, sneaky business going on here, I think. So there have been
Thank you,
Okay.
Beezy.
a lot of things in the paper about it, though.
Thank you, Beezy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that will be first on our agenda for our February meeting.
Okay.
There were just a couple of other things I wanted to bring up in terms of programming, and Christine M., this has to do with you when we were chatting and you were talking about your husband and loving orchards and liking to talk to people about orchards. I thought, now there would be an interesting, I think we talked a little bit about this, about having like an afternoon on just the basic starting an orchard 101. And what do people think about that as a program idea?
I think it's great.
Oh, good. I see lots of thumbs up. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Christine, can you kind of get some timing and dates when he might be able to do that?
Yeah, I will. I had been thinking maybe when the trees are blossoming or budding or something like that.
Great.
People, when he does these talks, people always have like a million questions about how to handle, even if they just have one or two trees. Also, can I just say, I just realized we never approved the last.
Oh, geez, thank you. And I put it in big letters to do it because I always forget. Okay, so, okay, motion to approve minutes.
So moved.
Okay, second. All those in favor, please raise your hand, and it is unanimous. Thank you, Christine, and I'm sorry, one of these years, I'll actually get that one down. Not my forte. Okay. So, yeah, so that would be wonderful. The other one I wanted to bring up is, it's been I can't remember whether it's been 2 or 3 years since we had a visit to Ancient Pony Farms. And that was really a big favorite of people with young children. Um, Zoe also spent some time talking about some of her farming techniques because she uses the sustainable practices. And that was very interesting as well. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there about whether or not that's a program that we would like to consider doing again.
What time of year did you do it? I don't remember.
That's a good question. It was definitely in the spring, and I think it was 2 different times. So we haven't been there when it's been early-ish in the spring. So there was the planting. Does anyone else remember the baby goats? It was definitely was after the goats. They had a gazillion baby goats, which was part of what made it such an attractive place to go for the kids in particular. Any objection to doing this one again?
I
Okay.
thought we talked about this before and decided we wanted to try to find another place that,
Oh, did we? Oh, that I don't recall, but yeah.
that's what I
we do-
remember, but we could look
Okay.
back in the notes.
Okay,
That, because we done it twice there, that
right.
I think we were saying maybe there's another farm.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's my memory that we did talk
Okay.
about this, but
Mhm.
Does it have to be a farm in Shutesbury? Because the Service Net farm is a
Ooh.
really interesting farm to go
Mhm.
to, and it's not only about, you know, the farming and the animal husbandry stuff, it's also about the community awareness of the people who actually work there.
it's a
Mm.
care farm, which is a different,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and no, it doesn't have to be. When we did the farm sanctuary, that was in Leverett.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, so it does.
this one is in Whately,
Okay.
and yeah, I could talk to I know one of the people whose April's son works there,
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's right.
and it's a wonderful,
Hmm.
it's very heartwarming experience to go.
So it's
That
a lot
sounds
of
wonderful.
adults with disabilities and
Hmm.
intellectual disabilities who run, who are working there, and
Hmm.
they'd be thrilled if people,
Mm-hmm.
little kids showed up. It would-
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not
I
opposed to doing something in Shutesbury, but I do think there are other models of farming that, like this, that would be
Mhm.
good to support.
Fantastic. I will add that. I'm just gonna, for next time, draw up a draft calendar with some of these things on it, and then we can figure out what we want to do. The other one was the geologist, whose name I don't remember, but what I
Al
do remember
Warner.
was he was really busy. So
Al
is he
Warner.
Al
He's
Warner?
retired now.
Oh, he's retired now. Okay.
Mhm.
Because we had talked about asking him to do a walk of rocks in Shutesbury.
Yeah, I'll see him on Sunday. I'll ask him again.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
And Darwin, Alan, and Diane, I don't think any of you were here for that conversation, but he's riotously funny. So I'm dying to go on a walk in Shutesbury looking at the rocks with somebody who's riotously funny. It just
Yay.
sounds wonderful. So, okay. And other than that, the only other program that I had down was the night sky, but that would be in the next fiscal year because August was the best date for that. We learned some things from doing it last time. We had too many moving parts in terms of we had 2 nights set up and then we had rain dates and then it kept raining. And anyway, the times that we were there were fabulous, but if we do that again, uh, we would definitely just set up a couple of dates, the end. I don't know, Christine. Yeah, Christine, was that your sense? Because you're the person who set that up for us. That you doing fewer dates would be good.
So I did talk to excuse me. What the hell's his name?
Tom Shielding.
Yeah, he's willing and he
Great.
knows, exactly what you're saying about the fluctuation with the vacation, this, that, and whatever. No, he's willing. He wants to do it.
Great, good. Yeah, and he was so generous. I mean, he was just
And
so generous
knowledgeable.
because
And
when
knowledgeable.
he said, what?
He was knowledgeable.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like,
Yeah, people really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was a great event. And he told people any nice night, just come over. He's
yeah,
out there. I mean, he was
exactly.
just really generous with sharing his knowledge. Okay.
Yes.
So am I missing anything? I don't think so, but who knows?
Well, we've been enough programming for about 3 years. And
I can tell you a little bit about what the police chief wants to do
Yes,
because
please, thank you.
she obviously is doing something else that's more important, maybe.
Yeah.
She would like to revitalize the
We'd love
field
to.
behind the fire station as a baseball field. She would like to get it cleared. She would like to get bases. She would like to start a league, very informal. She wants to build bleachers. She wants to really get get it going. And she does not want money or anything from the rec committee, but she doesn't want to step on our toes. And I said, have
That was
at it."
probably, yeah, that was very much my conversation with her as well.
Yeah. So she just wants to know if we're interested in being a support.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I think we need, yeah, I think definitely we should have her come and have a conversation with her and proceed from there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We covered a lot of ground. And again, am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
I'm reluctantly letting go of the mushrooms. One of these years, how to grow mushrooms. I would love to have that, but not this year. We'll get to that at some point. Okay. Are there any other items of business anyone wants to bring up? Okay,
I make a motion to adjourn.
thank you. I was about to ask for that motion.
Christine,
And
has
there you
her-
were.
Christine had
A
her hand
second,
up.
okay.
No,
and
no,
all
no.
those- what?
Christine had her hand up, I think.
Oh,
before
I'm sorry,
the motion
Christine.
To adjourn.
No, I think you were raising your hand about adjourning, right?
No.
Oh,
I want the boom box. The next time that
Oh.
stage shows up. Jesus
I knew
Christ.
I forgot about that. Yes, there was quite a bit of joking after the state police officer that our next one should come with a boom box, but this one just came with this little, and he kept saying, "There's a body cam. There's a body cam." And it's like, we're not doing
I'm
anything
recording
bad, I don't think.
everything. I am recording everything.
Everything, that's right. He kept reminding us. I don't know what.
Well, we were getting a little silly with him.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll probably
Oh,
So
memories,
if anyone ever
memories.
tells you that knitting groups are boring, they're wrong. Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? And all those in favor, please raise your hands. And thank you so much. We're ending at 4:44.